So, we're diving into a technology that's doing way more than just shaking up industries. It's actually poised to redefine what it even means to be human, and maybe even reality itself. This whole explainer is guided by the book The Age of AI, which was written by three pretty incredible minds. You've got Henry Kissinger, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, and MIT's Daniel Huttenlocher. And their core message is simple. A new era is dawning, and, well, we might not be ready for what's coming. There were no big headlines, no parades, nothing like that. But back in late 2017, a quiet revolution took place. Something just fundamentally shifted in the age-old relationship between humans and machines. And the crazy part? It all happened inside a game we thought we'd already perfected: chess. Look, when Garry Kasparov, the grandmaster who basically defined chess for an entire generation, when he says something like this, you have to listen. The thing that caused all this? An AI called AlphaZero. And let me be clear, this wasn't just a slightly better version of the old chess programs. No, this was a completely new kind of intelligence. So what was it exactly that made AlphaZero so groundbreaking? To really get a handle on this new age of AI, you have to appreciate its truly unprecedented power. It's not just about being faster or more efficient. It's about a logic that feels, well, kind of alien. This slide really gets to the heart of the change. See, traditional chess AI was all about brute force. We humans programmed them with our best strategies, and they just outcalculated us. AlphaZero? Totally different. It was only given the rules of the game. That's it. And in just 4 hours of playing against itself, it didn't just master chess. It completely reinvented it. It was making moves like sacrificing its own queen in ways that looked totally insane at first, that grandmasters called beautiful and creative. Moves that had never, ever been seen in centuries of human play. And this power, it goes way beyond the chessboard. Take the discovery of a new antibiotic called halicin. Researchers at MIT trained an AI on a bunch of known molecules, and it learned to spot antibacterial properties in a way that humans just hadn't. So they let it loose on this huge library of compounds, and boom, it found a powerful new antibiotic that works in a totally novel way. And here's the part that should really blow your mind. The AI didn't just crunch the data faster. It actually perceived a part of reality that was invisible to us. And make no mistake, this isn't some niche academic thing happening in a lab somewhere. We're in the middle of a global AI race, fueled by tens of billions of dollars. Nations and companies don't just see AI as a new product. They see it as the fundamental technology for the future of, well, everything: medicine, manufacturing, even national security. And now, this revolution is tackling one of the things we thought was most uniquely human: language. These so-called generative models, like GPT-3, have been trained on a massive chunk of the internet. You give them a simple prompt, and they can produce text that's often completely indistinguishable from something a person would write. This is a huge shift, right? AI is no longer just a tool for analyzing things. It's become a tool for creating them. So, what is the secret sauce here? What's the technology making all of this possible? How can a machine actually teach itself to master chess or discover new medicines? Well, the answer is in this fundamental change in how we build these systems. We've gone from programming them step by step to just letting them learn on their own. And this is the core idea right here: machine learning. We don't give the computer a rigid set of instructions anymore. Instead, we give it a goal, feed it a ton of data, and it figures out the patterns for itself. It's kind of like teaching someone how to fish instead of just handing them a fish. The big difference, though, the machine is learning in a way that, a lot of the time, we can't even understand. Okay, so this learning, it really comes in three main flavors. First, you've got supervised learning. That's where we give it labeled data, like thousands of medical scans, all neatly marked cancerous or healthy. Then there's unsupervised learning. Here, we just dump a massive amount of data on the AI and let it find the hidden patterns itself. That's basically how Netflix figures out what show you're going to binge watch next. And finally, you have reinforcement learning, and that's what AlphaZero used. The AI learns through pure trial and error, all driven by one simple goal: win the game. Okay, this brings us to something really, really profound. The authors of The Age of AI argue that this isn't just a tech revolution, it's a philosophical one. It's challenging a worldview that has completely dominated Western thought for centuries: the idea that human reason is the ultimate measure of all things. This timeline really puts it all into perspective. From the ancient Greeks to the Enlightenment, the story of human progress was the story of our own minds figuring stuff out. Descartes' famous line, "I think, therefore I am," perfectly sums up this human-centric view. Even the mind-bending physics of the 20th century were still products of the human brain. But now, for the first time in history, we're not alone. We have a new partner in reason, and it operates with a logic that is entirely its own. Think about it. We have always operated on the assumption that our mind was the only window we had to look at reality. AI just shatters that assumption. It offers a totally new way of seeing the world, one that might show us parts of existence that we're just biologically incapable of seeing. It's like someone just handed us a whole new sense we never knew we could have. So where does this leave us? I mean, what does this new age really mean for our society, for our identity, for our future? And forget all the sci-fi stuff about robot rebellions. The real transformation is way more subtle, and honestly, it's already happening. We're moving from seeing AI as just a tool to seeing it as a partner. This is happening every single time you use a search engine or scroll your social media feed. We're not giving it explicit instructions anymore. Instead, we're setting these broad goals, like find a better way to cool this data center, or discover a new antibiotic. And then we let the AI figure out how to do it. In this new partnership, we humans define the what, but AI is increasingly determining the how. So this new partnership forces us to ask some really mind-bending questions. When you look at the strategies of AlphaZero or the discovery of halicin, it strongly suggests the answer to this question is yes. And if that's true, what other secrets of the universe are just sitting there, right beyond the limits of our human perception? And as this non-human intelligence gets woven deeper and deeper into our daily lives, recommending our movies, curating our news, guiding our science, even helping make military decisions, how is it going to change us? How is it going to reshape the way we think, the way we interact, and how we see ourselves? And that leads us to the final and maybe the most haunting question of them all. For centuries, our whole sense of self has been tied up in those words from Descartes, "I think, therefore I am." We've always defined what makes us special by our ability to reason. But in an age where machines can also think, or at least do the things that look an awful lot like intelligence, then who are we? That is the central question of the age of AI, and it's one we're all going to have to answer together.